We have a possible director for the Guardians of the
What the?
What the hell is? What did you get? What? Where is this coming from? Today is August 24th, 2012. Welcome to Pretty Much It, and as you can see, there have been some changes. Not only is Mike back from his Albuquerque trip,
There's been a couple of changes,
but this is new PMI, folks. What do you guys think?
I like that thing. I like this.
I like
thing.
that.
I
I like this.
don't like over here.
This area.
I like over here.
Yeah, you'll be happy to notice that it's still the three of us. We have not changed the lineup, but we have changed the cosmetics.
We changed the seating.
Yes, we did change the seating.
If anybody has a problem with that, you can sign a letter to go F yourself at clownsaregreat.com.
.org. So we'll just let all this sink in while we do some thanks that are clearly in order, because we didn't do all of this ourselves. First things first, the theme song that you just heard was made by Addison Kowalski. Thank you so much, Addison.
Kowalski!
My composition that you guys have heard, I know you guys like it a lot, so I was like, we can't get rid of that. And so we had him redo it, and I think it's awesome. I think it sounds fantastic.
Yeah. I think it's great, too. I think there will still be some people who complain, and those people can take a short walk off I messed it up.
Also, the intro that you just saw, I edited all of it together, but those great drawings are done by Kane Bruff. Thank you so much to Kane, who I think just captures us perfectly without noses. That's what he does. Yeah. That's what he does best.
I like the last name Bruff.
As far as the logo goes, I made the logo, but I would like to thank my buddy Jordan Mishnoff for helping me with some sort of conceptual related stuff to the logo. He kind of helped me, make it what it is.
They met and they had a baby, and the logo is the baby.
If you'd like to check out any of these guys' other work, links are down in the info. And speaking of the logo, as you can see, we've got the logo on a shirt, but that's not the only shirt we've got.
There's more than one shirt.
We've got another one.
My brain is flying out of my head, and...
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Is that not amazing?
Look at
Look,
it.
Have you ever said to yourself, wow, I've always wanted to wear
these three
Eric's
clowns.
face, this guy's face, and Mike's face on a shirt.
Here, hold
now
it.
you can.
There you go. Both shirt designs are available by clicking the link down in the info to go to beobscure.com. You can pick them up right now, and I really hope you guys enjoy everything you see. Just keep in mind that some stuff might change up a little bit. Consider this the water from episode 1 of Pretty Much It, when we had the water out, and we got rid of that. Any stuff, it's not perfect yet. We're gonna settle in, let the dust settle, but, bear with us. I think it all looks awesome. It looks exactly like my original drawing that I did in Photoshop. I did a mock-up, and I think that the set looks exactly like it. So that's awesome.
It's a set, all right.
Everything came out, I think, better than I could have hoped for, so I'm really excited. I hope you guys are excited, too. But let's move on to this week's episode of Pretty Much It. Let's not continue dwelling on this stuff.
We do news on this show.
Right. Yeah. Before we get into the news, though, I just want to remind you guys that down in the info are links to all of this week's reviews of, we had a bunch of them, so bear with me here. Hello, I Must Be Going, Darksiders 2, Nobody Walks, Hit and Run, The Awakening, Premium Rush, and that spooky movie with Ashley Greene and Tom Felton.
Is that The Possession?
No. It's the other scary movie.
Which one? The Awakening?
Close. The Apparition.
Oh.
And finally, before we begin, at the bottom of the screen is Choose Your News.
Whoa.
Where you can click around to any point in the video, or you can just watch the whole thing.
Pretty much it has changed, but this is the same.
So let's get into this week's news, starting off with Guardians of the Galaxy. We've talked about it a little bit over the last few weeks.
Big Marvel space movie that takes place in space and stars.
And it's a Marvel movie.
And it's from Marvel, and there's...
It takes place in space, right?
And in space.
Right.
And they get in a spaceship, and they go into more space.
Marvel.
Starring aliens.
What's the news on this space movie?
Well, we may have a potential director for this movie.
Slap me silly, Jake.
No, I won't.
It is very possible that James Gunn will be directing this movie. If you don't know who James Gunn is...
James Gunn?
Most recently, he did Super, and that's a very teeny tiny little movie.
That's
so this is another...
That's not just teeny tiny, it's super teeny weeny.
It's the tiniest of tiny, yes.
Yeah, it's weeny teeny.
So this is another case of a small-time director, I guess you could say, in terms of he does small movies, going to a very, very, very big movie, potentially the biggest
But this is
movie.
like to the nth degree, whereas like Mark Webb to Spider-Man was like Mark Webb to Spider-Man, and this is James Gunn to space adventure.
He did have creative input in Lollipop Chainsaw, the game.
Okay.
Wow!
Yeah, wow.
Wow.
So
Lollipop
I can't
Chainsaw.
wait.
You guys are next to each other now.
So he does have a touch of crazy in him. I think he can handle something like this.
All right.
Has he ever done anything science fiction-y?
I don't know. I don't know his
Because
whole
we need to make something work that has a cartoon raccoon in it.
Right.
So.
Which, well, that's perfect for him then, because He is very kind of subtly tongue-in-cheek. You know, I think it's a very interesting choice. It's a very stylistic choice. So I'm definitely interested.
Good for you, Marvel. Good for you.
Moving on, we've got some more Marvel news. We've got the Avengers...
Always with the Marvel news.
Gag reel. Did you guys see this Avengers gag reel?
Yeah,
A goof reel.
It's a goof gag blooper rip reel. And it is hilarious. It is so funny. These guys looked like they had such a freaking blast making this movie.
Yeah.
Not only did they have a good time, but
They made a lot of money.
They also made a lot of money.
A lot of scratch. But definitely check it out by clicking the link in the info. I think it is hilarious. It'll be out on the DVD. There's some other stuff that was released, like a deleted scene that's out on the DVD, but it's coming so soon that I don't want to watch all this stuff.
No.
I'm going to be paying for the DVD.
Now it's funny that you get to see what Joss Whedon is like on set, and he's
hilarious.
He's hilarious.
Yeah,
like,
he's
stop fighting, guys!
And no, the part where Thor is trying to catch the hammer
It's slow
is
motion.
brilliant.
Yeah,
that is
was
hysterical.
great. That was my favorite part.
And speaking of Thor, we have some quick news about Thor: The Dark World, which is the sequel to Thor, as you may know.
Awesome.
It's bad news.
Bad news for Thor.
What could possibly be
Bad news for Thor.
Kat Denning is back.
Ah!
Thank God. Thank you, Jesus. Kat Jennings is back for Thor, everybody.
What is her purpose? I don't understand.
I don't know, man.
She
It's
has-
just to make pop culture references and get the product placements in, I guess.
I was just saying like how Thor was the fish out of water on Earth, where I think this one, what's her face?
Will be the fish out of water up in space.
In space, they're gonna be in space, and she's gonna have an iPod, and it's gonna be so zany.
Where
Space
can
is
I
gross.
plug in my iPad? We don't have iPads. Sorry, Loki.
I already hear the laughter.
Let's move out of the Marvel world. As you said, we have a lot of Marvel always, all the time. That's not our fault. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. Speaking of the way the cookie crumbles, Bruce Almighty,
Dumb.
Jim Carrey. You see what I did there?
I see what you did.
We've got some Kick-Ass 2 news that involves Jim Carrey, which might be blowing your mind already and with thoughts and ideas of where that could go. If you don't know anything about Kick-Ass 2, I haven't read it, but what I do know is that there are two sides. There's the bad guys and the good guys, do-it-yourself superheroes on either side, and they clash and there's a big battle, that whole deal. And that sounds awesome in my opinion. I think that could make for an awesome movie. That's not just a rehash of the first. That could be great.
Yeah.
So, Jim Carrey apparently will be the leader of the evil group. Or, I mean, not the leader. I don't know what character he would be exactly.
There is already a leader for the evil.
Is it Red Mist?
Yeah, I think
or,
so.
Or you know what his real name is.
Yeah,
We won't say it here, folks.
but,
so Jim Carrey would just be on the team
Yeah,
then.
I really had no interest in Kick-Ass 2.
Right.
I like Kick-Ass 1, but I had no interest in Kick-Ass 2.
Until now?
Until, because it's like such an interesting choice. It's
yeah.
like Jim Carrey, like, wow.
It's gonna be weird.
It was kind of like hearing that Nick Cage was going to be in it.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
It was...
Definitely, Jim Carrey hasn't had anything in a while that he could really flex
What are you
his
talking
Jim Carrey.
about? He was in Mr. Popper's Penguins.
Oh,
That was
come
great.
on.
That was his Oscar-winning performance, Jake!
So I personally think that could be awesome. I don't know if he's officially in. I think they were looking into him. I don't know. But if Jim Carrey is intelligent in the slightest, he'll look at how it did for Nick Cage, and he will do it. The other news, very small news, you guys won't care at all, but any of my Cry Wolf fans out there, you're going to be pooping. Lindy Booth
Yep, I
is
don't
in
care.
the movie. She, if you don't remember, she played Dodger in Cry Wolf. And this is directed by the director of Cry Wolf, so oh my god! I understand if you guys aren't excited at all, or anybody else, but
cool.
my Cry Wolf boys represent.
All three of you.
Moving on, we've got some small news about The Hobbit, again, about the 48 frames per second. I'm very
More?
sorry that we always talk about this.
This is
tiny
such a-
little news. It's a nugget.
What now?
Oh, a nugget.
So don't get too hungry because we're not going to eat the nugget. We're going to talk about the nugget. All it is that the 48 FPS screenings will apparently be the exact same price as the 24 frames per second screenings.
Okay, good. I feel
That's good, but it's like this is gonna be such a failure for him because it's like nobody knows. Like,
And now it's like, what's the
I
point?
mean, like,
You're not going to make more money.
for
then.
anybody who's watching pretty much it, and you consider yourself to be a movie guy. Did you do you really know, like, did you know the difference between 24 and 48 before we talked about this? I mean, like, I know there's some of you out there who do,
Yeah.
but like for a general movie
General audience is not going to know.
they're gonna be like 48, that's more than 24. That's probably the better one.
You think maybe almost they're selling it at a loss because it took so much work to make it 48 frames per second, and like don't they have to like update projectors or modify things?
I don't know. Honestly, I'm really
Because
not 100% sure.
it's a lot of work to just charge the same price.
We called this from the start.
It's really starting to just unravel and fall apart.
Yeah.
That's the main thing here. It's very bizarre. Moving on, we've got some Lincoln news. Another tiny little nugget. We've got the poster for Lincoln, which, unfortunately...
It looks great, but reason why it's unfortunate is the exact same picture that was released like last week.
Pretty much, and if it's not the same, it's pretty much the same.
It's just with a fancy filter on it. It's a nice poster.
Yeah.
But it's just we've seen it.
It actually looks like Lincoln Arkham City.
It does.
He just needs like blood coming from.
They need to have they need to have like the bloody
because
fist.
vampires, right? Yeah.
Sure.
Batman fought vampires once.
He did, actually, that's true. And speaking of actors who look just like the character they are playing, or real-life person in Lincoln's case, and this case, Ashton Kutcher is Steve Jobs. We've seen it before, and, it looked okay. It looked okay as his young self, but now we've seen, like, a little bit older.
Perfect.
He looks exactly like him. The first image looks exactly like him, where he's like this.
Scary.
But
it's unbelievable.
It's not old Steve Jobs.
No.
It's like 90s.
Mid. It's mid.
Like,
it's getting to, like, it's like, almost mid.
It's like starting Pixar.
Yeah.
It's late 80s, early 90s Steve Jobs.
Right. So it's the next level up, and I don't think we're going to see... I don't think this movie shows all of his life. I think it's just the original, and the beginning.
A quick note for everybody, this isn't the
official big one. No, this is like the indie version. But I gotta say, so far, he looks perfect.
I think a lot of it actually comes down to maybe we didn't realize that he really does look like him. The nose structure, the pointed eyebrows,
he does.
Everything. It's crazy.
His everything. He has his everything. He has your father's eyes.
What?
Moving on, we've got a quick little note of news that I thought was worth mentioning. It's an adaptation, Broadway to movie. Gary Ross, who did The Hunger Games, will apparently be working on a movie adaptation of Peter and the Starcatchers, which, if you don't know, I actually reviewed it a few weeks ago. It's a prequel to Peter Pan. And, I mean, it worked really well as a stage show, but as a movie, I don't really know what the point is.
I'd like to see it as a movie. I don't know.
You should see it as a stage show. It's great.
Can't we all just sit around like a little tiny campfire and watch Hook?
Yeah,
remember Hook?
Was good.
Remember the dinner scene where they ate all the slop?
Oh,
this is a different prequel, I guess. And speaking of Gary Ross, another quick little bit of news about The Hunger Games, which I don't think he's directing it, whether he is or not, it doesn't matter. A character, I don't really care about this so much, I'm not interested because I don't know the characters, I don't know the books, but a character has been cast who I kept reading about, so apparently it's a big deal. But we've got Finnick Odair, played by Sam Claflin.
I don't know the names of any of that.
Nope, I don't either. But if you're a Hunger Games fan, then you should be excited.
I've heard they, like most people, approve of this casting.
Then there you go. That's good. Let us know what you think. And the last little bit of movie news is actually video game movie news. So we're gonna say this together. Ready,
relevant
Jake?
To my interest.
Ready?
I'll just sit here.
The writers of National Treasure are going to be rewriting the Uncharted.
This is hard. Charted
movie.
I don't like this game. As you guys probably know, the Uncharted movie has really kind of been in like a development hell.
Now, I got a question for Uncharted people right off the bat. I like Uncharted, but it's like
it's already like a movie.
There we go.
That's what Eric just took the words out of my mouth, and he would be. Yeah.
Why is that guy always interrupting?
Like I was saying, Uncharted, like the way they present it, it's like you're playing a movie, which that's the best part about like Uncharted 3. There's the airplane, you're like
big set pieces.
Yeah, it's like it's crazy.
It's certainly a game.
It's like
that celebrates movies.
This is one of the things where like I'm gonna be watching like, and when this comes out in the movies, I'm gonna be like, why don't
frustrated. You're gonna want to play.
Why don't I just play the goddamn game?
This is why this news works perfectly. The writers of National Treasure are.
Come on, Jake.
Don't touch me. No! Stop!
Whisper it.
The two writers that wrote National Treasure are now rewriting the script for Uncharted. Because,
I can see why.
As we know, it sounded terrible first. It had
It did?
Robert De Niro, and it was like a crime family.
Wow,
and
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Now it's being rewritten by the writers of National Treasure, who can deal with stereotypical goofy characters and action set pieces and adventure.
Yeah, I think that's gonna work.
It's perfect.
It's gonna work really well because National Treasure was too goofy. It was like way too goofy to have itself taken seriously. But like this is like a video game, so it works.
I can see that.
Video game news. Let's start off with bad news. This is very bad news.
Yeah.
Nintendo Power, the beloved magazine, is closing its doors at the end of the year.
Now I haven't been reading it.
Call me crazy, but wasn't Nintendo Power canceled before?
That was Nickelodeon magazine you're thinking of, I think. That's what I thought of at first.
No. I'm pretty sure Nintendo Power was canceled once.
It went through a lot of changes, but it didn't.
It's officially canceled now.
I thought what happened was Nintendo Power was originally by Nintendo.
Yeah,
and then it was canceled from Nintendo and moved on to like a whole bunch of guys who didn't want it to stop.
Right.
And now they're stopping.
It didn't.
Okay, so there you go.
It was done like through the corporation, so it was like seamless. It went from literally the magazine kind of started out as just like a magazine full of press releases, basically,
Yeah,
for
right.
Nintendo. But then it went on, I think in the early 2000s, it went on to just be a Nintendo fan publication.
It's long dead already, is what you're trying to say.
It's dead. It's been dead inside.
Gotcha.
It's amazing because it's one of the longest running video game publications. It actually started in 1988.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
So
I
that's
definitely
cool.
have a few issues lying around somewhere, I'm sure. I used to love it.
I remember that year. It was just after I bought my cocaine and my DeLorean.
You weren't born.
That's what you think.
So they have the last couple of issues coming out. It's ending in December with their last issue, and they said they're going out with a bang. They have something planned for the last issue.
It's a bomb. You open it up and
Anthrax spills out.
Yeah,
That's
I
it.
don't know
just
what
a
could-
horrible
could be.
terrorist event happens.
I like it.
The next bit of news, I know we have a lot of Fallout fans. Fallout 4 is the rumor of the week.
They're making this? Like,
Yes.
Fallout 3 and Fallout, what was it, Vegas? They're already huge games.
Yeah.
And like they're huge games, and like they're huge, and you do they're the same thing. Like you walk around a post-apocalyptic city and go, wow, and then some mutants attack.
But it's like,
So-
it's the same appeal as like Skyrim. It's like you get lost in a world. And
But it's like with Fallout, it's like this is after a nuclear war happens. It's
Yeah.
like you figure out what happened,
So
what's
it's like
going
life
on.
sucks. Here you go.
But it's like, so now we're doing it again. So
Yeah, now it's interesting because the rumor is it's taking place in Boston, which doesn't really excite us. I don't
no,
know.
it's like why? It's like we what was it? Washington.
Yeah, which was
And
great.
it was-
Iconic. A lot
Mhm.
of landmarks.
And there was Vegas,
which kind of worked.
and now it's like Boston.
Boston.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
weird. I don't know this
Boston.
game, but that is bizarre.
Boston, as you know, isn't that big of a city with only a couple of real landmarks. I don't know what could really go on in Boston.
I predict it was going to be a post-apocalyptic game, and you shoot mutants.
Most likely.
That's
yeah.
I'm gonna hold up a card to my head, and when the game comes out, I'm gonna open up the card, and I'm gonna be right.
So this rumor actually popped up on a forum, NeoGAF forum actually, but it sounds pretty credible. Apparently, developers are scouting out Boston now, like MIT and stuff, and like taking pictures for the game. So that pretty much makes it seem like it will be Boston.
All right.
So, okay, whatever. And a last quickie bit of news. We've posted links in the info box to check out these pretty cool screenshots. Grand Theft Auto 5, they've been slowly siphoning us some screenshots.
I'm very interested to see where Rockstar is going with this, because when you compare Grand Theft Auto 4 to Saints Row 3, you kind of really see what the difference is between a great story and great gameplay. Whereas
Yeah,
I would say
so.
Saints Row 3 had the gameplay edge, and Grand Theft Auto usually has the story edge. But like, if they can just mesh them together like a big old
Then
s'more,
they'll have an incredible game.
they'll have an incredible game. I mean,
That's what I'm hoping they're going to do.
the screenshots look nice.
Yeah.
They look realistic. They don't look like they have a style to it yet. We don't know the style yet. We just see some screenshots, so it's very early on.
Yeah.
So
The one group of screenshots was called Leisure, and that had a guy parachuting, someone playing tennis, and someone riding a dirt bike. So I think that's showing that like there's going to be a lot of cool activities and goofy stuff to do.
I don't
Hopefully.
like that, because I think the worst part about Grand Theft Auto 4 was like, let's go bowling. Like,
That voice, that's exactly
Let's
it. yeah.
go bowling. It's like, oh, let's go to the strip club, the fake strip club, and look at fake things while we could be doing other fake things. It's like, when does a video game start being a video game?
I honestly think that Rockstar might have really learned from their mistakes with that, because everyone says that. Everyone hated having to call up your friend and like, let's go drink beer. That's not fun in a game.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I really think that they're going to learn from that with this. These screenshots show a lot of cool stuff. You could fly around in a jet, like whatever, like
Whatever.
That's awesome.
jet. Yeah. So it looks good. You can check them out. I don't know. Check them out. And that's it for video game news. Let's head on over to TV land and talk about The Office.
Yes, we do have some news about The Office. Apparently, the next season of The Office, the upcoming season, is the final season of The Office.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Jeez,
A
it's
sigh
like-
of relief. Yeah.
I've still enjoyed The Office. I thought some episodes had some very, very funny laugh-out-loud moments, but that's because, Creed is my favorite character, and
Yeah.
he still has moments and stuff. And I do think that some of it is still hilarious. It's the same writers.
I think they're 3 seasons too late on this. Like they got the same writers, but like they exhausted everything.
Well-
And, like the Office had a good run.
Right.
They had a good run, and like they just went on for too long.
What happens is the season where Michael left, where Steve Carell left.
See, I still think that they should have ended before that.
Yeah, but what happens? That season was great for Michael Scott because they used all of these ideas for Michael Scott that they had pinned on the wall and said we'll use them eventually.
Yeah.
They used all of their best ideas. They didn't have to think about it. That's what I think is going to happen with this upcoming season. All these ideas that they've said we'll do that eventually. That'll be great.
Yeah.
So I think that they're going to be in this season. And the other interesting thing is they said that we're going to find out who's been filming the documentary all along and why.
What?
Which
Okay,
I think is kind of interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. You're interested.
I'm
Yeah,
interested.
you gotta
But I think Ricky Gervais needs to be close in on this, though.
I guess.
I mean, like, he's the executive producer, right?
But he doesn't have any idea. When they started making the show, they didn't intend to show who was making the documentary.
Yeah.
This just went on for so long that it just has become a thing now. Like, it's kind of interesting.
I don't know. Like I said, I think the show. I mean, like, I love The Office.
Yeah, of course.
But it's way past its prime.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think it's been stretched out. But it's good that it's ending. That's good.
What is Rainn Wilson gonna do?
They're actually making a spin-off called the Farm or something like that. Remember we talked about it. They're going to make a
Is that
Rainn
actually
Wilson spin-off.
happening?
Apparently it is.
That's gonna be like Joey. It's not gonna. It's gonna be like an episode
Joey?
long.
Oh, God, Joey was so
Yeah,
bad.
I don't know about that, but whatever, we'll see. And that's it for news this week. Next up, we're going to talk about the trailers that came out this week.
Yeah.
But first, a quick commercial break.
The first new commercial break.
Welcome back to Pretty Much It. Now we're going to talk about the trailers that were released this week.
Very exciting trailers.
Not at all. Actually, there are really no exciting trailers at all.
Oh, I got that wrong.
The only one we're really going to go into is Stolen.
Hello?
Hello, Will.
Vincent?
I want my share of the $10 million that was going to change our lives.
There is no cash.
That daughter of yours, she grew up real nice.
Where is she?
Look at this. Did you just see that? That such a rip-off of Taken. It's like
But with
hilarious.
Nick Cage.
The title alone.
Stolen.
Taken,
Wait
Stolen.
a minute. Taken with Nick Cage?
Stolen. Yeah.
I'm sold. I don't need to see the trailer. Just take the money.
So you're ready to see this one. Would you really go see it? Are you actually interested?
Just take all the money. All of it.
Is that supposed to be money?
All of it.
Honestly, the car chases look really well done. Like with real car
That's
crashes
all that
and
matters.
stuff.
And Nicolas Cage looks spectacular.
Two other trailers released this week that I think are kind of similar are The Frozen Ground and Butter, because it features two actresses as strippers.
Yeah.
And, that's all that matters, really, right, guys? Am I right, guys? Woo! Yeah!
Strippers!
Woo! Yeah!
Yeah, women.
We also had the trailer for Bullet to the Head, which is very similar to The Last Stand, but with another aging action star,
Stallone.
Sly himself.
Really?
It's the same, pretty much what we said about The Last Stand, minus that the director apparently is good. What we said about that is what we have to say about the Bullet to the Head.
You know what's
movie.
weird though? Does he look like drastically younger?
Yeah.
I don't know what they did.
It's magic, man. It's
That's
Hollywood
weird.
magic. And
It's
speaking
weird.
of magic, we have another trailer for a movie called The Magic Life. I did not even intend that. That was fantastic.
That was a horrible high five.
I actually saw The Magic Life somewhat recently at a festival in New York, and
This guy, always with the festivals.
I wasn't going to review it, but now that there is a trailer for it, I guess I will.
Let's do it. Well, you do it. I don't want
I
to
will.
do it.
You won't. And some other trailers released this week are for Passion, which doesn't look bad, if you catch my drift. The Impossible, which also doesn't look bad, which we've talked about before.
Yeah.
The Barons, The Waiting Room, Girl Model, Unconditional, The Other Dream Team, The Sapphires, Least Among Saints, Simon and the Oaks, and My Uncle Raphael. Are some of these fake? Are all of these real? I started to realize toward the end they all sound like just made up. And that's it for trailers this week. Really, there's nothing. There's nothing exciting to talk about. That's it.
Sorry, guys.
Are you Canadian? You
What?
better not be Canadian. Get the hell out of here.
They must never know.
So let's move on to the poll. Last week's poll question was, in The Expendables 3, what action star would you like to see in the movie? And I whispered something to you. What did I whisper to you?
You said Liam Neeson.
I really did. And that was the winner. And
Number
I'm not
one on the poll.
surprised.
And I completely disagreed because, you know what? Liam Neeson is like a higher caliber
He's not an
of
actor.
actor.
He's not an action.
Only
star.
recently.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Schindler's List, Michael Collins, stuff like that.
Great action movies. Now, the next two are very interesting. The third one is the most bizarre, but the second one I think is actually pretty cool. Samuel L. Jackson. He would be perfect.
Sure.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because it's like a parody.
Yeah.
He could parody himself, which he does already, but that would be great.
If that actually happens,
Yeah.
I won't be surprised.
Yeah, that I think could be really funny. And the third one is kind of weird.
This is dumb. This
Tom
is-
Hardy.
No, that's
No,
good.
no.
Why?
No.
Just Dark Knight Rises and what's the other movie called? What was it
Warrior.
called?
He did.
And
Bronson. Yeah.
Bronson is actually one of my favorite movies.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. We agree on something.
Yeah.
Follow through.
What? Thanks for the lukewarm handshake.
Tom Hardy is great,
Yeah.
but he's not an action hero.
Not like these guys, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Bruce Willis, stuff like that.
I don't think there's been one movie where Tom Hardy is like firing a gun and going like, ah!
But maybe now there will be.
Yay!
Although, wait, what am I saying? He's not going to be in it. There's no way he would ever be in
No,
this
yeah,
movie.
that's
No
not gonna
chance.
happen.
Who did you guys vote for?
Nothing.
I didn't vote for anyone because I didn't want anyone to be swayed because
Yeah.
people often are. But like I said, Liam Neeson. I could see Liam Neeson.
I don't sway anybody about. I voted for The Rock like 8,000 times.
Isn't The Rock in this, in the Expendables?
I think they actually want to get him in there. So
Good.
there you go.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that makes the most
I smell
sense.
what The Rock is cooking.
Okay.
What is he cooking? Meth?
So that was last week's poll. This week's poll question is...
Can I say it?
Sure.
Oh, okay. Who do you want to play Nathan Drake in the upcoming Uncharted movie?
And
Except for...
Nathan Fillion.
We get it.
We know, yeah.
You can let us know by clicking the link down in the info to go to our Facebook page and vote in the poll. And while you're over there, if you haven't liked us on Facebook, please do so. Thank you very much if you do. And finally, the giveaway winner this week. I did not have time to pick a winner, unfortunately. Lots of stuff to do with this. But the winner just popped up. You are the winner. Congratulations. Please write to us on our
Yay.
Facebook, and we will confirm that you are the person you are supposed to be, all that stuff. But thank you for entering, and that's all we've got for you this week on pretty much it.
I hope that you're still in your seats and you weren't blown out of it.
Yeah.
You better like this.
I really hope you do, honestly,
Yeah.
because I love it. I think it's awesome.
There
Like
were-
I said, bear with us. We're going to settle. We're going to figure stuff out. It's not complete yet, the background.
I noticed there were a lot of people in the comments who were like, the new Pretty Much It better not suck. There were some people who said that. And you better be happy.
Yeah.
You better be satisfied.
Ow.
Well, you deserve that.
So let us know what you think of new PMI. Let us know what you think of all the news this week. Definitely don't forget to check out the shirts if you're interested in looking like us. Either shirt is available right now. But let us know anything that you want about anything, I guess. Honestly, thank you guys so much for watching and supporting us. Thank
Yeah.
you for sticking with us. I really honestly hope you guys enjoy what you see. And that's pretty much it.
Come on, Mike. Come on.
No, ow, ow, ow.